This is a series of videos about lessons that I learned from a 24-year relationship that failed. Now, this wasn't a relationship of two angels. I'm not telling you to be like me. Instead, I'm showing y'all how being me at times wasn't enough or was flat out wrong. Enjoy. In my 24-year relationship, I was broken up with a lot. I mean, it was comical at a certain point, but the shit always bothered me. Now, there were times I broke up with her as well. I mean, at one point it was due to my insecurity. 100%, that was wrong. But as I became somewhat more secure and the years went by, I would only break up with her because it seemed as though she would be happier without me in her life since she complained about me so much. Those times, in my opinion, were me doing right by the person I loved. If the shit sounds stupid, just hear me out. If the person I am is causing you so much pain, and I don't see or agree with your assessment of my character, then the truth is, I won't put the work into changing. I'm gonna continue to be the guy that you didn't like, and since I care about your happiness, I'll go. It's not easier for me, but it's the only option. That's as honest as I can be. Do I still sound fucked up? That's on you to judge. Now, why she and I broke up and came back together so much is not important. What is important is that I'm here telling you that it was the wrong way to handle things. Nothing good came from it except this series of videos explaining how we both fucked up. In the later half of our relationship, she would break up with me much more than I did with her, mainly because I saw the value in communication. And my calm nature came across as not caring as much as I used to. I know it sounds crazy, I know it sounds odd, but some of y'all really do know what I'm talking about with that. The bottom line is, it became a relationship of love for a little bit, and then her getting upset at whatever and leaving, and then me taking her back. When you're in a relationship where the other person breaks up and comes back, it can be confusing to those of us who seek the truth, you know what I'm saying? I envy those types of people who get broken up with and then they be like, they'll be back. They just acting stupid. I don't understand how y'all so cool about that. I just don't get it. But I gotta admit though, I got really close to that zen toward the end of things between her and I. But still, that's just too much back and forth. I wanna know what's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Why would someone keep dumping you and coming back? Well, these are all answers from my experience only. Reason number one, control. By dumping your ass, the other person is taking charge of their emotions because they feel as though what they are feeling is just too much and it's time to shut this shit down. So they say, fuck this, I'm out. If they don't come back, congratulations, they have the control that they wanted in their emotions. But if they do come back, well, guess you ain't got no control. Now you're just looking crazy. Reason number two, you're vindictive. The old hurt people hurt others thing. So by leaving, they hurt you for whatever you did. It's the same thing if a woman or a man fucks someone else while you're broken up and then comes back. They want you to feel their pain. It's tit for tat. It's an eye for an eye, which only leads to two blind and distrustful fools, which is exactly one of the reasons my relationship fell apart. Reason number three, they are beginning to mentally check out of the relationship. They just doing it in stages. Now this shit is legit. I mean, I know a married couple or two where this is going on and yet they keeping it together. They just keeping up appearances, you know, Facebook or Instagram, and they smiling, all that. But I know them. I know the truth. The guy doesn't want to leave because he don't want to pay alimony. And the woman doesn't want to start over herself. They ain't happy by a long shot, yo. But it's comfortable enough to keep going. You know what I'm saying? However, the attraction is gone. I mean, if the husband died, she would cry because she's been with him for so many years, but she was out of love with him for years already. Basically, quote unquote, I love my husband, but I'm not in love with him. Now, if we take that to a non-married couple, the more someone dumps you and comes back, the more they're developing the strength for the big day where they finally get it right and never come back. Now, those are the three reasons as I see them. Now, if you are the person who keeps getting dumped, you've got two options. One, When they leave for the third time or whatever number you want to give them, make sure they can't come back. This is extremely hard to do when you have a lot of years. I mean, I changed my phone number and I wound up giving it right back to her after a couple of months or something. It was so stupid, but it was already over 15 years or so by that point in our relationship. I mean, you do dumb shit like that because you feel like you're so sure that this is it. Nah, the years, man, you can't erase those years that bind you to. But yeah, make sure they stay gone if y'all don't have a lot of years. That's option one. Option two, if you're not strong enough at the moment for option one, prepare yourself for the eventual breakup by getting your own mind in order. You got to start beginning to accept that this person is eventually going to leave your life because they keep breaking up with you. The shit is emotionally abusive, but they don't give a fuck. I told you in the beginning, I used to break up with her too. So I'm speaking as the person that used to do the same shit that she did to me. If you've listened to nothing else, please take this piece of advice. You gotta stop giving people like us hope and excuses for our behavior. Your best bet is to begin seeing how you feel. Begin learning to lean less on this person who just has a hard time staying with you. Start embracing self-love. Start learning how to live without them. Because the truth is, someone who loves you for real would not keep dumping you. Just consider what I'm saying there. Listen, I know love has levels, but love is still connection. For you to be able to easily sever that connection like it's nothing, nah, they're checking out and you have to see it for what it is. I'll tell you something else. Sometimes the universe will give you a sign or three, letting you know that the relationship that you're in is going to the left. I remember one time my ex got a new phone, and for whatever reason, when she made a phone call, it would call two people and three-way them. Crazy shit. I've never seen it happen in all my years. But the one time this happened, I heard her complain to someone about a particular time we had on a weekend trip. Even though she was airing out her feelings and the convo wasn't meant for my ears, she said our relationship was just stupid. Just so fucking stupid. And I quote, again, y'all don't know the context of her venting or what happened, so don't judge us harshly. My point here is that regardless of what was going on between us, I got to hear how she felt. Now, I know for a fact that she wished that things were better. She complained a lot over the years, but constantly breaking up with someone isn't going to make your relationship any better. Her and I felt and feel to this day a ton of emotion toward one another, and it's not hateful. The difference between us was that eventually I did the inner work to channel the emotions that I felt. I wanted to understand those emotions. I was tired of the breakups and I figured I would at least try to be the better man. I didn't like the combative person her outbursts would bring out of me. I'm gonna tell you right now, a lesser man would have knocked her right out for some of the shit she was saying. Meanwhile, all I saw from her was someone who would try to work on herself, but give up. It was far easier for her to have an outburst, break up with me once a month or so, and then come back. And keep in mind, folks, she was able to come back because I allowed her to come back. What's that say about me? Consider that. Was I stupid? Was I just in love? Did I not think highly of myself? I'll touch on that in a later video. But the point was, in order for us to have anything stable, because it was already a long relationship, just wasn't stable. We both needed to change for the better. And she would say to me, I have changed. And I would say, then how is it that you're still doing the same shit? Because when you change for real, you don't move the same as before. You see the foolishness of old decisions and you opt instead for better and more wise decisions. That's the truth. Lastly, with all of this talk about breaking up, I would be remiss if I didn't talk quickly about makeup sex. It's cool, but if you're naturally passionate like her and I were, every sex was makeup sex. I mean, that's one thing her and I were good with. We always physically wanted the other. And if you saw us on the street, you may think I'm not the hottest guy on the planet, and you may think neither was she. But we both thought the other was extremely attractive. That's all that mattered. I mean, she would say, I don't like anybody looking at you. And yeah, she almost fought another woman over me. Now, I didn't need that, but it's kind of nice to know your girl is nuts about you just a little. So my point is, women and men, we appreciate sexual or attractive energy. So I say, if you got it, then you better give it. Some of y'all may want to step up your game. Because a lot of couples out there, y'all complain about no longer having the passion, and there could be low testosterone in play, or diabetes, or menopause, which I'll go into later. Regardless though, if you don't have the sexual energy to give to someone you're supposedly attracted to, then something's wrong. Maybe you're asexual, very possible. Maybe you're not attracted to your partner anymore, but something vital is missing, and you'll need to be honest with yourselves about that. For real, there has to be passion somewhere between y'all. And it don't have to be sex, but it better be about something. That's all I got to say about that.